Hi, I'm Chris, and welcome to Conscious Pathways. When each day is the same as the next, it's because people fail to recognize the good things that happen in their lives every day. Paulo Coelho, the Alchemist. There are moments in life when something begins to shift, not because the world around us has changed, but because we've started to notice it differently. What once felt familiar, even comforting, can begin to feel still, predictable, as if something within us is quietly asking, is there more than this? Sometimes the first sign of a new beginning is simply the awareness that something no longer feels the same. In The Alchemist, we meet Santiago, a young shepherd moving quietly across the hills of southern Spain, following the rhythm of the wind and the needs of his flock. Each day is simple, familiar, predictable. He knows the land, the paths, the changing seasons. And yet, beneath the quiet routine, something begins to stir. A feeling he cannot quite name. A sense that there is more waiting for him, just beyond the life he already understands.
How often does that happen in our own lives? Not always as a dream, but as a feeling. A gentle pull, a quiet whisper, something that says there is more than this. And it doesn't always arrive clearly. Sometimes it shows up as restlessness or a sense that something we once loved no longer fits in the same way. Sometimes it feels like a question we can't quite put into words, or a longing with no clear direction. And because it's subtle, it's easy to dismiss. We tell ourselves it's just a passing thought, that it will go away, that we should be grateful for what we already have, and often we are. But this stirring is not about something being wrong. It's about something within us, something to grow, something asking to be explored.
For Santiago, the call takes form through a reoccurring dream, a vision of treasure hidden near the Egyptian pyramids. But more importantly, it's the feeling behind the dreams that matter. The sense that life is inviting him into something unknown, and perhaps something meaningful.
There's a moment, subtle but powerful, when we begin to sense that the life we're living and the life quietly calling to us are not the same. And it's not always dramatic. Sometimes it's just a pause, a hesitation, a moment where something inside us says, wait. That moment can feel exciting, but also unsettling. Because once we feel it, even gently, something within us has already begun to change.
Santiago faces the same question we all do. Do I stay, where things are safe and familiar? Or do I step into the unknown, with no guarantees? The call to begin is rarely loud. It doesn't demand, it invites.
And here's the paradox. We often wait for certainty before we begin, but the path does not reveal itself until we take the first step.
What if the call you felt, no matter how small, is not by chance? What if it is the beginning of your own unfolding story? Take a moment and ask yourself, what is quietly calling to me right now? Not what makes sense, not what feels safe, but what feels true.
The journey does not begin with knowing, it begins with listening.
And perhaps just being willing to take one small step. If this message resonates with you, we'd love for you to follow the podcast and walk this path with us.